Hi everyone and welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video. My name is Daryl and as you can see from the waypoint markers I am adding, I will be flying around the world and I will be using the new SR-72 Darkstar aircraft which came with a Gun Maverick DLC. We will be doing a hypersonic flight and reaching the maximum possible speed and altitude in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. If you like this video and my other flight sim videos, please click on the subscribe button, leave a like and comment. This will be very appreciated and helps my channel grow. I will be posting more Top Gun Maverick flight sim videos in the next couple of days, so please subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future flight sim videos. Okay, for this flight, I will be taking off from my home airport in Davao City, Philippines, and do a full loop around the world and land back in the same airport. So, we have completed takeoff and will be climbing to 3,000 feet to transition to afterburners and to go supersonic. Well, in the real world, planes are not allowed to go to Mach 1 over land. Well, the sonic boom that happens when you transition from subsonic to supersonic flight can break windows and other glass fixtures. So it is safer to fly out first over water before engaging the afterburners. So here we will be just climbing to 3,000 feet and now switching to afterburners. We will be reaching Mach 1 over the water. Well, I hope you don't mind that I will speed up parts of this video and skip to the interesting parts of the flight. This video will be over 4 hours long if we don't skip the boring parts. Well, please leave a comment below if you want me to post the full flight in a separate video. Okay, so now that we are over water and around 50,000 feet, we will be leveling off to increase airspeed to supersonic flight. Mach 1 has been reached and we will be increasing our speed to Mach 3 to transition to the scramjet engines. So we are approaching Mach 3 and we will be switching on the scramjet engines to get to hypersonic flight speeds. For this to be classified as a hypersonic flight, we will need to reach a speed of over Mach 5, which will be very easy for the scramjet engine. So switching on scramjet engines and turning on fuel cell batteries, And now we are transitioning to hypersonic flight. As you can see in the gauges and from the audio, the jet engines have powered down and we are using just the scramjet engines. Airspeed is decreasing, but the true airspeed is rapidly rising. We are now over 100,000 feet above sea level and at around Mach 9. We will still be climbing and increasing our speed to Mach 10. So currently we are over the Pacific Ocean and it will take a very long time. So I'm speeding up the video a bit more so that we will get to more interesting parts. So, around 30 minutes into the flight, I got a bit bored because it's just all ocean, and well, I tried to fly upside down at Mach 9.5, which um was kind of funny in a sense that it's comically impossible to do. Eh, it also almost cost me um the flight. Well, you can see I just flipped around and I was rapidly losing altitude and also airspeed in this maneuver. But well, it's part of the statistics how of Microsoft Flight Sim. How far or how long have you flown your plane upside down? So I just did a bit of stat padding just because I was so bored with the flight already. So, again, we will be skipping some parts of this because we are still over the Pacific and I believe it took me an hour and we are heading towards North America next. While cruising, we reached the maximum altitude possible in Microsoft Flight Sim, which is around, well, 275,000 feet, which converts to around 52 miles or roughly 84 kilometers above sea level. You cannot go any higher than this. If we went a little bit higher, it would be um, called a suborbital flight already. So this is the highest possible, and we are stuck at a speed of Mach 10.02. So that is the maximum possible height and speed that you can sustain in Microsoft Flight Sim. So, I just went for a glass of water because we were about an hour and a half into the flight, and inexplicably, we lost a lot of altitude. Gladly, I just caught it at the right time and leveled off. So, yeah, there's no autopilot in this flight or in the plane itself. There's no autopilot to maintain cruising speed or altitude. So yeah, and we almost crashed, but we recovered just in time. So we are again um, getting up to speed and our altitude. We are also climbing back up to uh, around 100,000, so we can increase airspeed and go back to scramjet. So we're just transitioning again to scramjets. Uh, our main jet engines are off and we are accelerating again in scramjet mode. Well, the transition from jet engines to the scramjet is my favorite part of this flight. Uh, it never gets old on me that when you transition from the regular afterburners to the scramjet and increase your speed beyond hypersonic. Well, we are an hour and 45 minutes into this flight, and we are about to fly over Central America. You can see on the airport marked on the map with an airport code of SJO. SJO is the code for the Juan Santa Maria International Airport in the city of San Jose, which is the capital of Costa Rica, and it is nighttime in this part of the world. And I have lost track of how many different time zones we've crossed already. We will be flying overland for the next leg of the flight before we do our transatlantic crossing. So again, we will be um, skipping a lot of the flight because well, it's nighttime and you can't see much aside from the city lights that you see below you. Those are the main cities that we will be passing through, and there's not much to see aside from that, and also the sky. And well, you can also notice the orange glow of our plane. That's because of the well, we went hypersonic. Once you get to hypersonic speeds, then the airframe will be very hot, and it will glow in the nighttime. So it's perfect that we flew eastward so that we would encounter the nighttime, and you will see the aircraft glowing. So, well, we are just about to go into our transatlantic crossing, and it will be open ocean for quite a long time from here. This I believe is waypoint marker number 4 already, and we have 2,000 nautical miles before we get towards our next waypoint, which will take quite a while for us. So I'll again skip the video for quite a bit, um, since there's nothing to see around this parts of the world. So while following the waypoint, again I made a little bit of mistake and lost a lot of altitude. It's very hard to get a bearing or orientation in the nighttime. It's pitch black, and the only thing I could see in this part was just the plane itself, because we were flying over the ocean, and if you look at the altimeter, we are really dropping. I had to correct, and we again almost lost the flight. It's really hard to correct when you are in scramjet mode, and I lost almost all of the altitude. I believe we leveled off at around 50,000 feet. Then I got it corrected also in used well, recovered my flight speed. Oh wait, we are, well, still low. It's hard to see. Okay, passing 30,000. We are, I think we stopped this at around 19,000. Yeah, there. It was around, oh sorry. We were already at around the, well, single digits now. 7,000 feet, 6,000 before we had it corrected. I believe I was, well, not paying attention also with my altimeter at this point, and it was, well, nighttime. And well, as you can see from the video, there's nothing, well, and at this point I kind of sped it up, or sped up the clock a bit, so to help me during this flight. Again, no autopilot, so there's no warnings or anything that I would be um, or I was losing altitude. So we had all that sorted out already. And again, we'll fast forward to the next one, which will be reaching Africa. Um, I believe in the country of Mali will be the next time that we will be flying over land. So there, we are now flying over the African continent, and this will also take a very long time. We will be crossing the Sahara, and it will also take a while. The next waypoint is 3,700 nautical miles away, and yeah, it will take a bit of time. I've just been fiddling around with the aircraft view so that you could see where we are. If you're one of those geography buffs, well, please leave a comment down below on what place this is exactly. I remember that we flew over Mali, um, then went straight towards the other side of Africa. So let's fast forward again a bit. So we are exiting the African continent, and we will be flying over the Indian Ocean. We will, I believe, fly over the southern tip of India also, towards our final destination. Our next waypoint is 600 nautical miles away. And again, we will be skipping most of this so that, well, this video is already 26 minutes long, so let's skip a bit more. So we are approaching the final leg of this journey that we have. This is our last waypoint marker before we get towards um, our airport, which again is the airport we took off from in Davao City in the Philippines. So yeah, if that's, I believe, an achievement. So again, I'll be fast forwarding a bit towards our next well, the next part, which would probably be the landing. So we are 2,000 nautical miles away from our destination. So we are in the final leg of our journey. Our destination is just 750 nautical miles away, and we are entering the Philippine airspace via the Zamboanga Peninsula. So this is already the closest that we will be in our journey. It's been 4 hours total flight time at this point. Oh, well, I believe it's beyond 4 hours already. I have to check on the timestamp of the video. So this is very close to our destination, and I will be skipping towards the approach. So we are making our final approach already. We are just 65 nautical miles away from the Francisco Bangoy International Airport, which we will be landing at. So that is our final destination, and we are flying, I believe, over the city of General Santos. And we will be making a series of left turns. So the problem that I have with this plane is that it flies so fast that well, we are still at Mach 6, which is still hypersonic. So we just passed the municipality of Malita in Davao Occidental, and we will be turning. We will be doing a series of left turns to make our final approach. So we just made contact with our airport, and we are just 36 nautical miles from our airport. But we will be making a right turn because our approach well is not aligned. So we will be doing a series of maneuvers to align ourselves with the airport.
VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back halt short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Oscar.
So we are once again now straight with our airport, and we are around 45 nautical miles, and we are just above supersonic speed at this point, and lower well, it will be hard to land um, with such an airspeed. The problem with this plane is that there's no autopilot, no auto approach, so landing is all manual, and there is no flaps in this plane. You just have your trim. So it is a very challenging approach. And one thing I've noticed with this plane when landing is when you deploy the landing gears very early, um, when you're I believe above 500 feet, the aircraft will be unstable, and you will be crashing the plane. And also you can't deploy the spoilers um, to reduce airspeed while in flight. So it is all done by throttle control when you are maneuvering the aircraft for landing. So I'll be skipping a bit again for this, and see you in the approach. So yeah, we have the runway in sight already, and we are just 11 nautical miles away. So this is the our approach, and well, you can't, well, in my previous tests, or in my previous attempts, it is really hard to land this plane via the cockpit. So you'll be relying on instruments rather than visual if you are uh, planning to land in uh, well, in the cockpit view mode. So as you, well, you can see already the runway, and this is the first um, approach that I will have. And we the problem with this approach is that I forgot to manage my airspeed. So as you can see, we are still at um 500 knots. So that's, well, really fast. So when I tried to land, I I did land, but ultimately missed. So I had to, well, I landed but could not stop. So I had to redo and take off again, and line up for another approach. So this is the second approach, and in this one I lowered my airspeed already um to 200 knots, which is the standard landing speed for a lot of the bigger aircraft like the A320 Neo, or the other planes that I'm used to, like the Learjets, um, and even the 747. So this is my final approach for um, this flight, and yeah, you can see in the gauges that I'm lowering airspeed already. Um, just before approaching the runway, well, I was off a little bit in this landing, and so this is the point where you deploy landing gears. I was still 300 knots, so landing didn't really stick the landing, and that's it for this flight. So if you're still watching this video at this point, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe to this channel for more Microsoft Flight Simulator videos. Thanks, and have a great day, everyone.